Now let us start with the fifth module, that is septic tank. Now we will move to the essential parts of a septic tank. There are mainly 5 parts. The first one is T-shaped inlet and outlet is provided. That is to prevent the direct current from entering into the tank through the inlet and through the outlet. Second one, it is the baffle walls that is normally provided inside the septic tank. That is to prevent the disturbance of scum as well as the sludge that is settling at the bottom of the tank. Third one, it is a top cover we are providing, that is made up of RCC slab. Then fourth essential part, it is the manhole that is mainly provided on the top, that is for the inspection and maintenance. Then fifth one is the vent pipe, that is to remove the foul gases. So these are the 5 essential parts of septic tank. So coming to the septic tank, it is nothing but it is a primary sedimentation tank, and here we are providing more or longer detention period of 12 to 36 hours, that is 1 day to 3 days it requires this detention time we are providing. And here extra provision is given, that is for digestion of the settled sludge. The sludge will be settled at the bottom of the tank. So that extra provision for the sludge deposition we have to provide when we design the septic tank. And septic tank, it is a single tank. Inside both the sedimentation cum digestion take place within that tank. And the digestion of sludge is carried out by the anaerobic decomposition, and which results in the release of foul gases. And normally 60 to 70% of organic matter can be removed from this settling tank, and the effluent will be of foul nature, and it should be disposed of by subsurface irrigation, either by using soft pits or by trickling filter before disposing into the water bodies. And some of the lighter solids, means that is grease or fat, etc., they rise to the top of the septic tank as scum. So this sludge and this scum, they are retained within the tank, and what happens, they are decomposed by the anaerobic bacteria, and the end product will be gases like methane, carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide gases. And the settled sludge, this oil and this greasy matter, it comes to the top of the tank, and the settled sludge will be at the bottom, whereas oil and grease will be floating on the top surface, and that will be retained there for several months, and that is for the sludge digestion. And the digested sludge can be removed after 6 to 12 months period. And the septic tank, normally we are provided in areas where sewers are not laid. And this is the planning section of the septic tank. Here you can see the inlet and outlet. In the second figure, the figure below the section plan, you can see the inlet and outlet of T-shaped inlet and outlet is provided, and the bottom of the tank is made up of cement concrete, and the top you can see a cover, and there you can see a manhole also, that is for the inspection. You can see a ventilating pipe. Now coming to the construction and operation, that is the septic tank, it is rectangular in plan with either flat or hopper bottom we can provide, and here through the inlet the raw sewage will be coming, and the effluent will be coming out through the outlet. And in order to prevent the disturbance for scum and the sludge that is at the bottom, sometimes the scum that is formed on the top of the septic tank and the sludge that is deposited at the bottom will be disturbed in order to by the current. So in order to prevent that, baffle walls is constructed, which is normally made up of RCC. And the septic tank, it can be constructed of either made up of brick wall or stone masonry or plain or RCC. And the bottom you can provide a cement concrete of ratio 1:2:4. And normally a slope is provided towards the sludge outlet so that the sludge can be taken out. And the tank normally is covered at the top with the RCC. And this cover, we are providing the cover that is to prevent the escape of foul gases and odors from the tank. And normally we have to provide a vent pipe, that is it should project at least 2 meters above the top of the highest building and within a radius of 20 meters. A vent pipe is to provide, that is to escape the foul gases out into the atmosphere. So it should provide at least 2 meters above the top of the highest. Now this is a soft pit that is provided. And here the soft pit is nothing but it is a circular covered pit through which the effluent is allowed to be soaked or absorbed into the surrounding soil. And normally it can be filled with stone aggregate or it can be kept empty also. So the condition is that when the soft pit is kept empty, the pit is lined with brick, stone or concrete block with dry open joints. Or if the soft pit, if it is filled with stone aggregate, then no lining is required for this soft pit. It is mainly used so that the effluent is allowed to be soaked or absorbed into the surrounding soil. That is why we are providing the soak pit. Now the advantages of septic tank are it is can be easily constructed, no skilled supervision is required, the cost is reasonable compared to the IMOF tank, which is an improvisation of the septic tank, and the performance also is constructed is almost good, and it can about 90% of BOD and 80% of suspended solids, and the sludge volume disposed is very less, and the effluent from the septic tank we can dispose onto land in a soak pit without much trouble. That is the advantages. Now the disadvantage of septic tank means if the tank, if it is not properly functioning, then the effluent will be of dark or foul smell, and it is even worse than the influent. So we have to check it whether septic tank is properly functioning or not. Now regarding the size, for few people we can provide. So if the size of the community, if it is very large, or if for too many people we cannot provide the septic tank. So we cannot provide a single septic tank. So depending upon this size, we have to provide more septic tank. So that is why that is another disadvantage. Now the third one is a leakage of gases can happen to the top of the septic tank, and which can lead to the air pollution also. And the periodic cleaning is most important. Periodic cleaning, disposal and removal of sludge, it's a big problem regarding the septic tank. And the working of the septic tank is also unpredictable and may not be uniform. So always we have to check the working of the septic tank, whether there is any leakage or not, whether that any bad odor is coming out from the septic tank. It shows some leakages within the septic tank, so that sludge has to be removed, it has to be maintained well, it should be checked, and the periodic cleaning is most important. A minimum is 6 months to 12 months we have to go for this periodic cleaning of the septic tank. Now coming to the design parameters, these are the design parameters when you design the tank. The sewage flow normally 40 to 70 liters per capita per day. We have to, normally we are using 40 to 70 liters per capita per day. That is only for water closets if they are connected to septic tank. Now both if the water closets and sunlight pipe they are connected to septic tank, then the sewage flow normally when you take for design 90 to 150 liters per capita per day is taken. Then the rate of accumulation of sludge we are taking as 30 liters per person per year, not per day or per month, per year 30 liters per person. Then minimum capacity if 8 to 10%, then 2250 liters should be used, and 1440 liters, that is when only water closet waste are discharged. And the freeboard that should be provided is 0.3 meter. Detention period normally 12 to 36 hours we have to provide for detention period. Then the length to width ratio, it varies from 2 to, length is 2 to 3 times the width, and width, that is the most important point, the width should not be less than 90 centimeter, that is minimum 90 centimeter width we have to provide for designing the septic tank. And the depth of the tank varies from 1.2 meter to 1.8 meter. Here there is a typing mistake, that is 12 meter it is written, it is wrong, it is 1.2 meter to 1.8 meter. So these are the design parameters of the septic tank. In next class we will go through the design problem of the septic tank.